Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am joined by Ravage. How are you doing, Ravage?
I'm doing good, here for the MLG action once again. Can't wait to see what unfolds here after the long UMG tournament weekend.
Yeah. It was a pretty crazy weekend. Are you surprised by the turnout at all, or did you expect that?
Release going as deep as they did and pushing Eager as far as they did was a little bit of surprise, and elevate the LAN champions from not even a month ago, taking fourth place due to a roster mishap where El Chapo wasn't able to attend the UMG LAN. That's all fixed up now, so hopefully that's all changed up for them as they head for the drive to the Columbus LAN in the MLG arena.
Yeah, and also we saw, just to go back to Elevate, we actually saw them not look like themselves in our last MLG matchup, and we saw Aware take them down, not easily, but they did take them down. What do you think that says about Aware tonight? Do you think they are going to look as strong as they did, or do you think that was because El Chapo wasn't there?
Aware's looking strong regardless. I was watching them in the Gladiator Games tournaments last week as well, and they look very solid. I think the additions of Cruxy and Yubs have really solidified that roster and given them something, a new breath of air. A breath of air that they haven't had since they broke into the scene here back in June or July. And, the same five guys stuck together for a very long time on Aware. And obviously Shane and Aggro making the switch over to Epsilon and Elevate respectively. So I think that might have given them a little bit of breath of life, but I can't help but think that the intensity that El Chapo has brought to Elevate time and time again was missing a little bit. As you've seen them struggle at the LAN this weekend, where they had Puka in jungle at times, and they had Puka at support Gustavi playing jungle with Hoppo in the carry. And even though Hoppo was effective in carry, they couldn't get their game together in the jungle.
Yeah, and the consistency is going to be really important, especially when you're trying to fight your way into a LAN. Juice, though, we've seen them at 2 LANs now recently. They haven't won any of them, and they're supposed to be one of the top teams. What do you think that says about Juice?
I think Juice is having trouble in a LAN environment, and I've seen this a lot during my professional career when I was playing FPS. It's pretty much the same thing, and actually there's a little bit more intensity in FPS, but there's less strategy when it comes down to when you compare an FPS shooter in a round-by-round environment. You can come back with some clutch plays, okay? You can have a carry every now and then, but when you're looking at these long, drawn-out matches in a MOBA environment like you're seeing on Smite, it becomes an issue, okay?
Yeah.
If you struggle with consistency and it hits you at the beginning of a game, it's hard to rebound from that. So I think Juice is struggling with that just a little bit. And they need to get into their heads, and they need to get someone to help them with their psychology a little bit and get on top of that sports psychology and get into a competitive mindset when they get to these LANs, or they're going to find their prime pass them by here.
Yeah, I mean, going forward tonight, though, we have 2 matches. We have Epsilon Release, and we have Aware versus Onslaught. Epsilon Release, that's going to be close. When we talked earlier, you said you favor Release, though, in this matchup. Is that correct?
Yeah, Release is looking really strong right now. I feel like the addition of Clow and opting out on War Machine has really strengthened their roster and has allowed Shing to really shine in that jungle and play more support-oriented gods in that jungle. He has less to worry about. He's not babysitting lanes anymore. He doesn't have to worry about managing attitudes on the team or anything anymore. What he's doing is he's focusing on the game and focusing on team comps. And he even said this when he was interviewed the weekend. He talked about how he's able to play these supporty gods now, and he can really focus on the team comp and making the team comps work because he doesn't have to carry the lanes. So I think that's really improved Release's atmosphere, and it's going to allow Shing to shine himself in bringing his team together in these team fights and using the experience that he has from the SPL and Cloud's experience from the Challengers League to really bring that team together.
Oh, okay. It looks like we're jumping into picks and bans really quick. I have to use the invisible mouse of doom right now. Let's see if I can actually figure it out. Let me see if I can do one of these.
I'm done. Oh yeah, I'm in picks and bans now.
Oh wait,
here we go.
I just knocked myself out. Let me see if I can get back in. I'm in like one of those weird, like, when the resume thing comes up and you can't get it to go.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might not be able to get in now. Do you know if I can actually jump back in now that it crashed?
Yeah, you can jump back in.
All right, let me see, because I did just spectate him, but it's not jumping me right back in. Are you in right now?
I am. I mean, I can call it fix and bans.
Yeah, call it for me. Let me see if I can get this to work. Which bans have already come in?
We see Zonkwe coming out with the first ban from Epsilon. we've seen that's a really strong pick for Cloud. He really favors that Zhong matchup, and it's real strong in the healing meta, especially in the mid lane. Next up, we're going to see the SWK ban come out on the side of blue team. Sun Wukong being banned out, obviously very strong in the warrior meta. In retaliation, we're going to see another healer taken out by Epsilon, Hell being focused down and banned out. And on the blue team, we're going to see the elimination of Odin there. It begs the question, maybe they're looking at a healer to be picked up here on the blue team still. Maybe an Afro.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier today. Healing meta still very much in effect.
Yeah, fallen out of favor a little bit on the PC scene. If you watched the tier list today, DM talking a little bit about that, about healers just getting banned out and focused out. And, people have kind of caught up with the fact of how to counter the healers, not to mention some debuffs that have come out in the new PC patch as well. So the PC meta a little bit ahead of where we're to right now. That's really shifted to a Guardian meta, where right now we're kind of in the awkward point in the middle, where it's kind of in a hybrid state.
Yeah, so the new patch is kind of, like you said, pushing things more into a Guardian beefier meta. And that's definitely changing things up quite a bit. Looking at DM Brandon actually put out a new tier list today, and you can definitely kind of see some of the gods that were favorable, definitely not favorable anymore. Healing meta even a little bit less effective.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you're going to see the healing meta is still alive, well, and strong here as we look at the first couple picks coming out. Jing Chen going to be first pick up by Epsilon, answered in response with Athena and Isis on the side of release. We're going to see that healer come out. We knew there was a reason for that Odin ban. Looks like it's going to be Isis. Guan Yu picked up on the side of Epsilon for the sustain with the Warriors. That's a lot of beefy characters on the side of Epsilon right now. It'd be interesting to see if Xing Chen goes in the hands of Seal Carve or goes in the hands of Shame in the jungle. But it's Cray the Outlaw is actually going to pick up Hades as well. So a lot of healers.
Let's actually just run through right now. Run through the picks for each team for us one more time if you could.
Right now we have Athena, Isis, Hades on the side of release, and they banned out the Odin. So you see why that's important as they picked up Athena, who can kind of be locked down in the Ring of Spears, as well as the Isis, who can be eliminated on healing, as well as the Hades. So good target to ban there. They know what team comp they're going to be running. Over on the side of Epsilon, Jing Chen, Guan Yu, Fenrir are the picks over there. So we have two very tanky warriors in the Guan Yu, Jing Chen. That looks like, I think that could be a Jing Chen support. It could be a Guan Yu support. A lot of flex picks.
Ravage, we just got some news from the control room.
What's that?
They want to remake the lobby.
Oh my dear.
so they are allowed to have one remake. So we're gonna have to run to a really quick commercial break.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they have to keep these picks. I'll double check though while we're in the commercial. I will let you know when we get back. Be right back.